Are you wondering what neighborhood to move into in Leonardtown? Make sure you watch this video to see all the top choices. What's up, everybody? This is Rob Schou here with EXP Realty in Southern Maryland. If this is your first time on our channel, make sure you click that subscribe button, click that little bell so you're notified every single time we put out new content about living in Southern Maryland. And if you need any help, and if you're looking to move to Southern Maryland, make sure you use that contact information below, and I'd be happy to help you. Anything, anytime, I'd be happy to help you out. All right, so like I said earlier, today we're going to be talking about some top neighborhoods in Leonardtown. Now, when I go and collect this information, I collect it from previous sales. So these are all based on sales. All these top recommendations are based on sales from 2021. So I picked the top 4 neighborhoods with the top 4 sales in 2021, and I'm going to kind of go over those neighborhoods, kind of give you the quick stats, and maybe some things that will either help you decide that's the right place for you, or maybe make you decide that you want to look somewhere else. I got a few honorable mentions at the end as well, so make sure you stay tuned to see those 3 or 4 at the end that are kind of honorable mentions that were kind of tied at the end with the amount of sales they had in their neighborhood, and have some unique properties that might interest you if you're not interested in these top 4. All right, so the very first one we're going to get to is one of the most, I wouldn't say iconic, but most well-known neighborhoods in Leonardtown, and that's Brentwood Bay. And Brentwood Bay actually is one big neighborhood made up of a bunch of smaller neighborhoods. So for example, like Society Hill and Brenton Beach and Brenton Estates are all part of the Brentwood Bay neighborhood area. And for the most part, there is not an HOA in Brentwood Bay. What there's a civic HOA that's voluntary to join. And with that civic HOA, you can get some stuff with that. But for the most part, it's not something you're going to have to shell out money for. So if you're looking for a neighborhood that doesn't have a mandatory HOA, Brentwood Bay might be that neighborhood for you. Now, Brentwood Bay does have larger homes. On average, it's about 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and about 2,500 square feet, with an average sales price of about $500,000 to $510,000. Now, one thing about Brentwood Bay that is unique to the neighborhoods I'm going to talk about today, the average age of a home sold last year in Brentwood Bay in 2021 was 1978. So Brentwood Bay definitely has some older homes, but that means it's a larger, more established neighborhood. There's bigger tree growth. It's just that kind of older neighborhood feel that a lot of people like. Another thing, if you're looking in Brentwood Bay, there also is Brentwood Bay Golf Course, which you can join, which has a swimming pool and tennis courts and all that kind of stuff, and of course a golf course with a driving range and a putting green. So that can really sway a lot of people's decision. If they love to play golf and they love those kind of things, they'll choose that Brentwood Bay area. That being said, Brentwood Bay is not far from all these other neighborhoods. So if you really like golf but want a newer home, you can still live in another neighborhood, join the Brentwood Bay Golf Club, and still get there within 10 minutes or so from these other neighborhoods. Last thing, in Brentwood Bay, if you're going to be going there and you have a family, you're going to be most likely sending your kids to Benjamin Banneker Elementary School. They're going to be going to Leonardtown Middle School, and their high school is going to be Leonardtown High School. All right, so let's go to the next neighborhood, and the next neighborhood is a newer neighborhood, but it's definitely not the newest neighborhood on the list of this one, and it's Leonards Grant. So Leonards Grant is a neighborhood that was established in around 2008, and it's behind Captain Walter Franz Duke Elementary School. Actually, it was there before the elementary school, but now that's where a lot of people will say it's behind the new library and behind the new elementary school. The homes were built between 2008 and 2015, and they are pretty large homes. Most homes are around 2,900 square feet. Most homes have 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. And the average sales price last year was $540,000. So this is a more expensive, newer development than Brentwood Bay. But with that newer development means there's not a lot of old growth trees. It definitely feels like a new neighborhood. The trees are smaller, but getting bigger, and it just doesn't have that old neighborhood feel. But it definitely has its own unique charm when you go in it. One of the things that I really love about it, and when I'm impressed about it, whenever I go in there and show houses, are the sidewalks everywhere. So you can just tell it's easy to walk around the neighborhood because there's just sidewalks to every single place you want to go. Now, they do have a mandatory HOA. It's about $800 a year. I think currently it's $777 is what I saw, but we'll round it up to 8 just in case there's any increases or anything like that. And with that membership, you get lots of different stuff. There is a pool and a use of a clubhouse, and they always have different community events within Leonard's Grant. They have food trucks come out, and they just do all types of fun stuff for families and that kind of stuff. It really is a pretty active HOA and a pretty active community for you to be a part of. Now, if you have a family and they're going to be going to school, the elementary age kids are going to go to Captain Walter Francis Duke Elementary School. And the unique thing is you'll be able to walk to those schools if you live in the neighborhood, if you choose. There's also buses and stuff like that. And you can do parent pickup or parent drop off there, of course. The middle school will be Leonardtown Middle School, and the high school will be Leonardtown High School. So those would be your 3 District 8 schools for Leonard's Grant neighborhood. All right, so the next neighborhood we're going to talk about today is Meadows at Town Run. Now, Meadows at Town Run is a brand new community. It started in about 2018, 2019, and it's across from Leonard's Grant, up Hayden Farm Lane, across Hollywood Road, and it's a new development that a lot of families are starting to move into. It averaged, last year, there was a bunch of houses sold in there. The average was about 2019, the average age was, and that's when they first started. So some of those houses are starting to turn over with people moving out. But a lot of new houses were sold as well. The average size was a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath home with about 2,800 square feet. And the average sales price was $532,000. So they're a little bit smaller than Leonard's Grant. And they're actually a little more affordable too. And part of that is because some of those houses in the Meadows have a smaller lot size than Leonard's Grant. Now, another thing about the Meadows at Town Run is it doesn't have a community center, and it doesn't have a playground, and it doesn't have a pool yet. I know that the playground and kind of those other areas are starting to be built up, and there is talk about a pool one day, but I think that's on the back burner for now until they kind of get a master plan and decide what they're going to be doing more. So I would expect more construction to continue in the Meadows, and possibly that clubhouse and that pool if that's something that they decide they want to do down the road. All right, so the HOA fees in the Meadows they're around $450 a year. Like I said, it doesn't have a pool or a clubhouse, so that's why they're probably a little bit lower. Some of the unique things about it does have a pond in the neighborhood, and there's actually some of the houses that have a view of that pond. And if you wanted to, you could walk to Leonardtown, downtown Leonardtown, pretty easily. Now, you do have to walk down Hollywood Road, and there's part of it that doesn't have sidewalks. You're actually walking on the shoulder of the road. But once you get a little bit ways down Leonardtown or down Hollywood Road, you can actually walk on a sidewalk all the way into Leonardtown after you cross over Route 5. So it's a doable walk. Is it an easy, no questions asked, easy walk? No, but it's definitely a doable walk to downtown Leonardtown. Okay, and the last thing about the Meadows at Town Run are the schools. So if you have a school-age family, again, you're going to be looking at Duke Elementary School or Captain Walter Francis Duke Elementary School as your elementary school. Then you're going to be looking at Leonardtown Middle School and then Leonardtown High School. All right, so the last neighborhood that I identified in my search was Clark's Rest, and Clark's Rest is another newer neighborhood. It's about a year or two older than Meadows, the Meadows at Town Run, but it's a lot bigger. So Clark's Rest is currently filled with single-family homes and townhomes, and they're constantly building more of each of those. So Clark's Rest is going to continue to expand for a little while, and it's going to be a big, big neighborhood with a lot of different housing types for a lot of different people. So it's pretty exciting to see that happen to Leonardtown, where we're getting a lot more affordable homes for people to come in and enjoy that beautiful area. Now, Clark's Rest has like the pool, it has the playground, it has the tennis courts, it has all that kind of stuff. And it even has a nature trail that goes through the front part of the neighborhood, which I think is really neat to be able to have that in your neighborhood. Some of the lots are bigger and some of the lots are smaller. It really has a nice variety of different houses on there. And the average size, and this is kind of skewed a little bit, I think, because of the amount of townhouses that are in there, but the average size of the house that is being sold in Clark's Rest last year in 2021 was 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, and they were about 2,300 square feet. Now, most single family homes are bigger than that, but the townhomes kind of bring down that average a little bit. The average price sold was $483. Now, because of the homes in there being townhomes and a mix of different homes, unlike the Meadows at Town Run and Leonard's Grant, that's why those home prices are a little bit lower. Those single family homes in Clark's Rest still go for those same prices as Leonard's Grant and the Meadows at Town Run. So it's a little deceiving. I know it sounds like they're more affordable in Clark's Rest as single family homes, but it really is the townhomes. But it's nice to have that options for families that want to be in Leonardtown, that want to be part of the different schools that are in Leonardtown, to have that option to have a townhome in Leonardtown. Besides, there's not a whole bunch of different townhomes in Leonardtown as we speak, so it's nice to have that option there. All right, so I said earlier in the video we're going to have some honorable mentions. Now, these are just neighborhoods that were pretty close to making this list. They have a fair amount of turnover, and they're also unique. Academy Hills is right near downtown Leonardtown, and it's a small-ish neighborhood, but it has nice-sized houses and nice-sized lots, and it's one of those places that when you see houses in there, a lot of people like to rush and grab those up. So you don't see them sit on the market for long, and people really love living in it. My next three are unique because they're in Leonardtown, they're larger houses, they're part of communities, and they always have bigger lots. So if you're looking for a neighborhood with bigger lots in Leonardtown, say, half an acre to an acre, check out Dean's Forest, check out Kingston, and check out Hanover Farms. Now, there's not a lot of properties that come available in those three neighborhoods, but because of their uniqueness, because of their big lots, and because of them being in that Leonardtown area, they're worth checking out if that's something you want to look for. All right, so I hope this helped you today. If you have any questions or need any help, make sure you use that contact information below. And again, if you have not subscribed yet, make sure you click that subscribe button. You click the bell so you're notified every single time we put out new content about living in Southern Maryland.